ladies and gentlemen of all ages, boys and girls. Thank you for tuning in to yet another episode of Angry Meat Production. We appreciate you coming in and letting us be a part of your lives week in and week out. We hope to do our best to present you with something that your eardrums delight in. Whether you're looking at us on YouTube or Rumble, or listening to us on Spotify, Google, or Anchor, or any of the other podcast services that we are currently on or trying to get on, we thank you. And if you don't mind, at the end of every episode, stop by, leave us a comment, leave us a like. If it asks for 5 stars, we'll take 5 stars, even if you don't like us. 5 stars are what it's all about. With that being said, we hope you enjoy our attempt to make our advocation our vocation. Ladies and gentlemen, let the games begin.
Welcome, Angry Faithful. Today on What the Hell, we're going to talk about Passport Boys and Wagner Group chief slamming Putin. But first, we got Mindy, Johnny's little lovely wife. I guess she's going to talk about something.
You guess? You were at the wedding. You filmed it.
I'm still okay.
You
Okay.
it. I mean,
even though
you coordinated the microphone that she had, so she was singing when she came up.
No,
dude, you even played the throne room theme on our way out. You know,
I
everybody had a lightsaber.
Yeah, but video can be doctored. Like it could all just be one big deep fake.
You know, I say this with the cherished heart. I still don't believe that she would actually marry such a slub like you.
No, I'm definitely hitting above my batting average, but that's beside the point.
Way above your battery average.
Well, not battery average.
Battery average.
I say battery. Fucking
you said battery.
All right.
We're starting out strong this week.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
The magic that is David Dickerman, everybody. Sometimes it's a good, and sometimes it's a shit.
All right, I'm gonna try to.
All right, so. I mean, I can, yeah. Well, because I've still got.
Can they hear me when I'm talking to you?
Yeah, y'all can hear her when I'm. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, then fine.
Yeah. All right. So my wife, the lovely blessing that she is going to go over a business opportunity for our listeners. So without further ado, boys and girls, angry faithful of all ages, my lovely wife. Go for it.
Okay, so I have a pretty well-known presence. Well, I say pretty well on TikTok. I have almost 11,000 followers on my regular page, and so I started this new journey about a year ago, becoming a notary, and then becoming a loan signing agent, and started another page. And so I have been trying to figure out how to market my business. And stumbled across this opportunity that is absolutely amazing. Like it's freaking awesome. So started on this program. It's a digital marketing program that teaches you how to actually set up your business, whatever it is, and make it automated so that it works for you. And the hardest part is just the beginning, getting everything set up. It teaches you how to use System.io, how to set up funnels so that it's all automated. And it's so amazing. And the best part of it is that it has not only taught me tools that I can implement for my notary business, but it also comes with the resale rights to this course. So I can take this course and I can sell it, and when the person purchases it, just like I did, they can rebrand it and make it their own, and they have 100% resale rights to it again. So the way I'm marketing it with my notaries that follow me is that we have slow months. Like this last month in May was a slow month for me as far as a notary and signings and general notary work goes. But I can take this course and I can work on this course and I can also sell this course so that I have some kind of income coming in when my signings are slow or when my general notary work is slow. You can use this. My sister is using the same program. She makes digital products for teachers and she sells them on a website called Teachers Pay Teachers. And she's using this to build her funnel to promote her products on Teachers Pay Teachers. It's just incredible. The fact that my 20-year-old came in today and looked at my computer screen, he was like, "Is that your website?" I said, "It's even better than a website. It's a funnel." And I had him on his phone go to our page, and then he put in his info and he clicked the button and it sent him to the next page. And he was like, "That's really cool, Mom." And for me, who's not a tech savvy person, that was like the best compliment. That was like the compliment of the year. That was amazing. So anyways, if anybody is interested, I've even told Johnny, y'all can use this for your Angry Me, marketing. I'll have him, I don't know how you want the website to go to.
Mm-hmm.
It's www.rethinkpotential.net. That's it.
Just send me the link and I'll put it in the description for the episode.
It's awesome though. It is really awesome. Like I said, I'm not tech savvy and I built a funnel that I'm just like, I'm giddy like a little kid. So
She has been consumed with this for the last few days. She has been in this office 6-7 hours a day working on it just to get it launched. And then last night she was looking at it before we went to bed and she's like, "Oh, I need to fix something." She was in here for another 30-45 minutes before she came to bed. So it has, I mean, she's excited about it. I'm excited about it. It's definitely worth something, checking into, but yeah.
And I forgot to mention the important part. When you purchase the course, you also get, and you have it for life, you have lifetime access to this community that is just amazing. We did a Zoom the other night, asked any of the questions that we wanted to ask, and everybody was like, "Oh, try this, try that," or "Yeah, you did good here." And it's just really cool. It's like take you by the hand, step by step, walk you through it. And like I said, the hardest part is getting everything set up so we can launch it, so that we can go on vacation or we can go do things and I can look at my phone and go, "Oh, we just made money," and you can use it for anything. I mean, like I said, my sister's using it for her teaching. I'm using her teaching supplies. I'm using it for my notary business. And it's really, really, I don't know. This is the coolest thing that I've ever done. I think ever. So anyways, but that's it.
Okay.
How much does it cost?
It is $4.97, but on our page, Johnny and I are doing it together. You can either pay the $4.97 up front, or you can do 4 payments of monthly payments of $135. And even with just the first payment, you have complete access to the whole course and the community.
Okay.
You have to wait until you pay all the way through to get access. You get it right away. And you have the rights right away with that first payment to turn around and resell it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So, I mean, for somebody like you, Chris, or even David, I mean, once you get the initial workload put in and you get the first couple sales in under your belt, or get your first couple commissions in, you can basically set it on automatic, and it really becomes passive at that point.
And then it's just up to you putting your face out there, putting your info out there. So like for me, I'll make TikTok videos, or we'll post on, we have an Instagram page and a Facebook page that's called Successful Skeletons. And, just continue to post. And when people ask questions, and we answer the questions and just kind of help them along. And I got a little discouraged today because we've only had like we've had quite a few views on our new page. Only had like 5 views on the video I posted today, but I saw somebody I came across said that somebody has to see something in front of them on an average 4 to 6 times before they will take action. So just keep plugging away at it. So I'm not going to let it defeat me. I'm determined. We're determined that this is going to be great because I have seen it change a lot of people's lives that I know. I mean, one sale, you sell the course one time, you make back your investment like that. And then everything else is complete profit.
I mean, there's a potential over the course of a 12-month period to clear 7 figures.
Yeah. So, and like I said, it's really cool. You can resell the course, you can rebrand it and resell it, but you also use, the whole point of the course is for it to teach you these tools for you to implement in your business and to put your business on automation. So anyways, that's my spiel.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Mindy.
You're welcome.
You don't forget the other. There you go. Log out.
How do I log out?
No. Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Good job, babe. No, don't.
Check that out in the description.
Don't feel stupid.
Tell Mindy to just message me the website so I can put it through.
Just message him the link so you can put it in the description. Yeah. Okay.
So
Passport Boys.
Passport Bros. This is coming from Yahoo Live. The title of it is TikTokers divided over passport bros who say dating overseas is easier than the U.S. Wouldn't you be better off getting a mail order bride? Passport bros are digital nomads who are seeking to date foreign women overseas.
See, that's kind of a disingenuous comparison, though, because these are not mail order brides.
No, it's kind of the reverse.
Catalog. It's like, oh, we're gonna come, I'm gonna travel over and then I'll marry you. No, you're actually going overseas and you are actually meeting these women.
Yeah, a lot of them are actually getting jobs in the countries that they're the women they're trying to date. They're going over there.
They're spending significant amounts of time in that country.
Yeah,
dating women. Like there's an app that you actually go and you're on the dating apps and actually going through the whole dating process that you would do here. You're just doing it over there.
Yeah, and a lot of
the
women, the women that are actually doing these passport bros things, I mean, I sent several of them to Chris, and I don't think I sent them to you only because, well, one, you're married, so you don't really have to worry about that. but I literally every time I see them, it's a woman's like, because some women are bashing it. Like, I mean, all people like bash everything nowadays. If you're not in the trend of trolling something, you're not popular.
Feminists. The feminists are the ones that are bashing this because they're like, you're such a loser and can't get a woman here, so you have to go overseas and get it. It's like, no, not that. We just don't want women like you.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Yeah. There's a whole difference there. It's like, what's that? It's that one lady. You see her making the rounds on TikTok all the time now. I'll be very nice and say that she is plus sized.
Can I say it?
I don't give a fuck.
I know exactly who you're talking about. I know exactly who you're talking about. And she is known on TikTok as Gorlax the Destroyer.
That big girl down there from the Dollar General.
No. Let me see if I can do this.
You sell biscuits in there.
You know what? Meat and
Are these boys in the club? They don't love me. They don't understand that I'm beautiful.
She's a 10. She's a fucking 10. A fucking 10.
She's a fat 10. I don't know.
Well, okay, so to be very kind, I'll just say this. I mean,
and this, understand,
we all know the soldiers. Everybody knows the type of soldiers that would date her.
Marines right out of high school.
Most of them drive tanks.
We're looking at you. Where is it? 19 Deltas?
We're not. I mean, I wouldn't throw the Cav Scouts at her because they're too busy dating each other. But
she is kind of manly, though.
Dude, it is, man. She's admitted. Yes.
I mean, we're not trying to say she's big.
Listen,
but
and this again,
you can tell she can take an IED or two to the face.
Well, she won't tell me that.
I am a fan.
She's so fat that her eyes can't even open up fully.
No, like I said, fluffy women don't bother me. I'm fluffy myself. It's you like some curves. This
I am an
alleged woman. This alleged woman is just an amorphous
women in Little Debbie snack cakes.
Just an amorphous blob of flesh.
I thought it was an animatronic.
Nice
time.
I mean, it's great for that kind of confidence. However,
yeah, I mean, but there's a difference between having confidence and being in denial
or delusional.
Yeah, the whole,
I don't need to change nothing about myself. I mean, I think your cholesterol would.
John Burke said it best back in the day. This body positivity movement is just enabling very bad health decisions.
Yes.
So, it's one thing to, put yourself out there and, claim to be the latest and greatest in what's in.
Right.
Yeah. Or saying that you're
your button is way inside her belly.
It's like saying that you're super hot, but nobody uses that derivative as a positive. Like, oh, I'm hot like Lizzo. No,
you're not. It's that. I mean, she's hot, but it's like the hot as in hot and sweaty. The further down you go.
She's sweaty because she's all around it. 800 pounds.
Fucked up. Every time I
see, she look like Janet Jackson. No. She look like Freddie Jackson. Oh hell no! Ain't you hungry? I know you're hungry.
So wrong.
Took off that hat.
Wrong, yet correct all at the same time.
We got kicked off YouTube for some reason.
Oh, this is it. This is the one that gets us canceled, boys.
This is the one. This is the one. We change up the platform.
We had a good run.
Did you see the this is another thing. You know that it was like, what is a woman?
Oh yeah, with Matt Walsh.
Yeah, Matt Walsh. Yeah.
They're putting it, they're letting people watch it for free on TikTok right now. And a lot of stuff, they had like 16 like segments of reason why TikTok's not allowing it on the platform. I don't think TikTok is
and they were going to premiere it on Twitter, and they had to change. They had to retract that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but I saw that today, and I was like,
yeah, the left really does not want this one being watched.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I actually talked to a guy, Kenny, the guy that's supporting us. And I told Chris about this. That he's the one that bought your sound card, and I just got to pay him back. He's like, "Fucking, I just bought it. Just give me the money whenever you can."
Oh,
so
he's a hell of a guy.
Yeah, and he's trying to support it.
Was
No.
Not that Kenny.
Okay. Yeah, this is Kenny for working. My brother-in-law is a CB, so he was in the Navy, but he was in the man division.
The men's department.
Yeah. Okay. All right. As long as he doesn't go around and say he's basically a Navy SEAL.
Oh no.
Chris and I have had to endure years.
They're more badass than them.
I'm basically infantry.
Right, exactly. Combat engineers and like, we're basically infantry. No, you're basically not.
Yeah,
basically
a civilian.
but he supports us on TikTok, Twitter, and everything. But what I was talking to him with is, you see how a lot of the stuff nowadays is getting like Bud Light, Ford, what are the other ones? Miller Lite and Target right now. They're trying to go woke, and they're just getting
Well,
bombarded.
you heard about Target, right? Where they put up these big displays out front.
That was
the bikinis, right? But they had
That
an
was
emergency
years ago.
phone call. Corporate told all of the store managers, "You don't have a choice. You're getting on this phone call." And somebody leaked it, and it was like, okay, so it was a 15-minute phone call, and they basically told them, take the displays down in their entirety, shrink them. Yeah, she was talking about food, dope. So there's that. All right. So shrink the size of the displays and put them in the very back corner of the store.
Because they had them right up front. That was the first thing you saw.
And they specifically said, corporate said, we are trying to avoid a Bud Light incident.
Yes. What's really sad is the person that put up the person that's setting up all the merchandise. It's like they're like, oh, he's a trans liberal or trans satanic, trans satanic.
He's a trans Satanist.
Yes,
he is a Satanist who is trans.
Yes.
Which, and again, it's not. It has nothing to do with the trans, as much as I don't agree with a lot of that stuff. Whatever, if you're an adult, you want to do that, whatever, that's between you and whoever you choose to believe in.
Right.
Yeah.
However, when you have infant bathing suits that were set up that had tuck pockets,
yeah, because
that was going too far with it.
There's a reason why you target children. It's because nobody else wants to listen to it, and children don't really have a choice.
Well, they're recruiting. It's 100% what it is.
It's not so much recruiting as it is grooming.
Yeah.
Well, it's from what I gathered.
In true Angry Me fashion, we have gotten so far off into the weeds. It's not even funny right now.
Actually, we're talking about this thing that we're.
No, this was on the schedule.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what's really strange about it is there's literally talks that they're having like LGBT alphabet group civil war type deal, because like the Gays Against Groomers, he literally did a speech and was like, I don't want this flag anymore. He ripped up the pride flag. He's like, I'm an American. The American flag's good enough for me.
Yeah. He's like,
that's deserved. That's showing deserve.
He was saying this.
Not like we're calling it for it to be the 1950s again, where we're telling everybody to go back into the closet. We're not outlawing them. We're not sending the FBI to their door.
No.
And we're not sending them off to straight camps or anything like that.
His point was saying, this flag does not define who I am. I'm gay, but I'm American first. So this is my identity. Gay is just part of who I am. It does not dominate everything.
It's the lifestyle that you live.
Exactly.
So it's like, so we were to sit here and identify as heterosexuals. Okay. Heterosexual is not what or who I am. I'm an American. I am.
Yeah, there's way more aspects of my personality.
I'm an American.
Who I choose to sleep with.
I am a patriot. I mean, I could say veteran, but you got those bro vets out there that is their personality.
I don't know what you're talking about, Johnny.
I don't either, David. That's why I said bro vets.
Not cis vets. He said bro vets.
Yeah. Yeah, not cis vets. Very good. Oh, look at you. God. But
I hope that I did not just coin a phrase. I hope
cis vets
better die right here with this podcast.
Bring it.
Oh God!
You heard it here first, people. Okay,
you heard it here first.
We are now identifying as cis vets because we refuse to identify as bro vets.
Oh my god.
Wow. And then you know what we're gonna start hearing? We're gonna start hearing the whole appropriation of culture talk.
Yes. Oh god, they're gonna come after us so hard.
Right?
We're gonna be watching on in the evening news. Like, you did this, Chris. You did this. What the fuck was your problem? I mean, seriously.
Oh man.
What the
We
fuck?
just stumbled upon a new phrase.
I like causing chaos. I love it. Chaos.
Oh.
Chaos, dude.
Okay, so you've got vets, and then you've got those bro vets that like being a veteran is their personality, right?
Yeah, we don't know anybody that.
Uttered the term cis vet. So we are now cis vets because we don't identify as bro vets.
No, you're just vets. That's like me saying that I'm a cis. I've never heard. I'm the OG.
I love you. She's like, I am the OG.
This is fantastic. Oh man.
Okay.
There's also oh yeah. I'm
Need to
sorry.
put that shit on t-shirt.
You were saying something before Johnny interrupted you.
Dude, my bad, dude. I'm so sorry.
You blanked out.
It's fine.
There was also a drag queen that was actually saying it's like
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
we're
Yeah,
on the same page, Chris.
right. Yeah, there's he's full on dressed up, and he was protesting. Like he had him on camera, and he was saying that you know, it's do your thing, you know, just keep the kids out of it. It's literally been the mantra that everybody has been saying from the beginning. Everybody on the right side of things of this issue has been saying, leave the kids out of it. You do your own thing. That's consenting adults, whatever. Just don't bring the kids into it.
Yeah. And I sent that one thing where a guy was going, he was like, hey, I'm going to go to the playgrounds and talk to kids about, you know, sexuality and stuff like that. I'm like, man, if you do that around me at a playground, they're going to have to fine you.
Didn't they used to have a registry for people that would do that?
That was before the days where we tried to normalize pedophilia.
Yeah. There's some kind of
it's not
registry or
themselves.
Yeah.
You know, they used to have to go around and knock on people's door in accordance with Megan's law. And
That's kind of where I was going with that.
you know,
They couldn't live too close to that park though, so they had to walk for a while.
Yeah. They have to have like cards too sent to your house. Some of them did that.
I still say they should be forced to put out yard signs.
yeah.
No, yeah.
Now,
on their front door.
yard signs, yes,
Yeah.
with a certain degree of
Well, you just because they have the
Let
website.
me finish. Try to articulate this thought here.
That's
Yard signs, yeah, wholeheartedly agree with that. Or at the very least, a sticker in the front door, right? And the reason why is because you're going to get those militant bigots among us that will take it upon themselves to potentially firebomb those houses. And you know, we don't want things like collateral damage. I mean, if you're going to do something stupid, do it surgically.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're
Because
talking
if you firebomb the house, you risk the whole neighborhood going up. You don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Surgical strike.
Yeah. I mean, Chris, did you watch that TikTok that I sent out the other day where the guy finds the laser designator on TV?
Oh yes, God, that was so fucking hilarious.
I'm sitting there watching that, and I'm like, she drops your now bricked PGS 7 Bravos, and I'm like, oh, that is amazing.
It was fantastic. Your gray market PBS 7s.
I wonder if you can actually get one of those.
Come on.
I mean, you can probably get a
who are now doubles as a GBU 8 laser guided smart bomb. It's like, I mean, because as soon as I was like, he goes, you used your autism fueled eBay researching class to find the 200-watt battery. I'm like, oh my God, this is going to go so horribly bad. Like, you finally get up the courage to activate the laser. And there it is, a flash overloads the light filter.
Oh man,
And
that
then
was a good one.
there's this anime chick staring at you. Hi. I was over there dying. Looking at me, she goes, "What are you
Look, you
laughing
either
at?"
did something
I'm
really,
trying to explain this to her, and I'm like, I
you got to watch it. You can't explain it.
Yeah,
But
it's
listen,
one of
to
those
wake
things.
up with that, you have to either do something really, really right or horrendously wrong.
I mean, the crater, if you watched the video, was at 300 meters. I mean, the crater was at 300 meters, dude. That is the definition of danger close.
He walked away. He was fine.
Now the other thing I want to talk about this week is Wagner Group, the chief executive officer.
Dude, that dude's playing with fire, man.
I'm surprised he's still alive. Legitimately, I am surprised.
Okay, think about this.
Alive. He said this on CNN.
Yeah,
that the generals are fucking everything up, and
right. But look at it this way, David. Who's Putin going to send against him?
yeah, that was the only saving grace. Is
He's got nothing, literally nothing. If farmers are taking the best of it.
With you, the guy's probably got the Spatnas on payroll.
that's true too.
Oh yeah. Well,
So
yeah,
you know, I mean, because you think about it, it's like, all right, European patriotism will only get you so far because you still have to be able to pay your bills.
right.
And if you have that degree of lethality at your disposal, let alone in your own arsenal, you know, it's kind of like one of those. At what point do you sell your soul? And I'm sure that you have at some point. You've got your I don't know, whatever the Russian equivalent of a private is, you know, doing his duty for the motherland. But your NCOs and above, oh yeah, they're definitely moonlighting.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I would be afraid of him a little bit if it wasn't for the fact that 15 Green Berets kicked out 500 of them.
No,
I mean, that's documented. They literally,
they have plenty of air sports.
You can listen to the radio chatters like they're fucking us up. These are demons.
That was a thing of beauty.
God.
I love those videos that we're seeing coming out of Ukraine. Like you've got the Russian MiG pilots wearing GoPros,
Yes.
right? And they're doing low level passes and they're having to eject at 300 feet.
Yep.
Yeah.
25 pilots. Yep.
Oh yeah. I'm sitting there going, ooh, like you see his chair shoot out this way, and then you can tell what the opening shock looks like, and then as he pans his head around, you can see his plane. I was like,
he gets one swing and then he's hitting the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
they are at bare minimum ejection.
Or
yeah,
Russia
I mean,
telling
the dude is oscillating like crazy under that canopy. Yep. And when he hits, boy, I'm telling you, that's a herniated disc if I ever saw one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Or Russia saying there's like, oh, they didn't hit our anti-missile sites yet, and they're using literally the Ukraine is literally using it as a
they were bracketing off of the news coverage of them saying, see, they missed, so they would adjust fire based on that news.
Yeah.
And then
what I think is hilarious is that a Patriot missile system shot down Russia's new hypersonic missile.
Absolutely.
It
Sure did.
doesn't surprise me.
Sure did. And you hear now they're making the claim that that Russia has this new super stealth secret missile, and they hit a NATO bunker and killed like 5 generals, but they can't say where it was.
Here's the thing.
You guys follow Habitual Line Crosser, right?
Yeah.
He's had some great videos on stuff like that.
Here's the thing. Either Putin is no longer actually in control and they've got a body double just doing FaceTime stuff, or he is so far outside of his realm that I'm waiting for Walter Sobchak to come in and be like, shut the fuck up, Donnie. You're out of your element. Right? If he were to actually hit a NATO target and it is a confirmed kill, dude, I really hope that they've got a fat boy division, because they're calling all of us back to active duty.
Yeah. Oh, that was another thing I wanted to talk to you too. But I got one last thing on this. The whole fact of, there was one TikTok that I saw that I guess it was like some kind of historian or something like that. They showed like a map from like 1700, and they're like, yes, Ukraine is part of our division and everything. It says so on this map, and that and Putin was right there. He's like, oh, okay, I understand. So I'm doing a good job. I'm like, for fucking 1700, you
They're asking the UN to recognize Ukraine now as part of Russia because it used to belong to the Soviet Union.
Yeah.
Even though they would go out of their way to make sure that there was a difference between Russia and the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union is not Russia.
Right.
Russia is
They might as well get the Czech Republic and Slovakia.
Yeah.
And
all of the old
Poland and Estonia. Hey, get all of that crap back while you're at it.
Come on, man.
And did you hear about the Army fat camp? Now that you mention it, Army literally has a fat camp for their soldiers. They're going through boot camp. They have to actually do an extra like 2 to 3 weeks. They're not doing that way.
Here's what I got to say about that.
The timing
instead of I don't know, coming up with a new fragrance of perfume by what's her fucking name? Damn.
Who knows?
Pepper Potts. I can't remember her damn name.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, see, that's just, she means that little to me. But
I just want to make a vagina.
How about instead of coming up with a new pussy scented cologne for our soldiers to wear because it's a nicer, kindler, gentler military, how about we bring back the days of the shark attack and keeping cell phones out of the hands of privates while they're going through fucking basic training?
Let's bring back lethality to our armed forces.
Well, here's the funny thing.
When you've got guys that are graduating infantry school, showing up at their units, looking like they A, pulled their uniforms out of a fucking earplug case, and B, talking to their sergeants and officers like they're back on the block, there's something inherently wrong with that. I mean, we want to talk about having gotten away from the toxic leadership culture. Great. We needed to do that because we ran into a culture where everybody was more concerned about their NCOERs and OERs than they were actually leading and training troops. You wondered why retention went down went through the floor, and then you had to lower your standards to get people to come in so that way you had numbers to tout. How about we instill a little thing called discipline?
Esprit de corps.
Because there is absolutely no sense in hampering or hamstringing a soldier, regardless of their MOS, with a file that they have to carry from duty station to duty station that looks like the greater New York City phone book because it's so full of counseling statements. How about we bring back Woodline counseling?
Yeah.
Smoke the shit out of a private.
Yep.
So what if their hands hurt? So what if they go into muscle failure? So what if they get a little bit embarrassed because they got chastised in front of their peers. No, it's called accountability, both personal and elemental accountability. If you don't like having a fucking soup sandwich amongst your ranks, square his ass away and teach him how to tighten his shot group.
Yep.
But the reason why they're actually doing it is because they're getting their 75%, and that's about it through boot camp, and then the other 25% is mostly overweight.
Which
that's on the recruiters.
Yeah.
I mean, because even with the Marine Corps, I mean, yeah, you see Marine drill instructors now. They're like, nobody will threaten you. Nobody will put their hands on you. Scream, yell, cuss, do whatever you got to, short of putting your hands on somebody. But I mean, as far as you can grab somebody by their collar and get their attention.
You're adjusting them. Yeah. You're not.
Yeah. I mean, you're adjusting fire.
Them in the mouth.
You're shooting fire from a known point. That's all you're doing. But
exactly.
As far as, the recruiters with the Marine Corps, all of their applicants have to show up on a weekly basis for PT. Pure, plain and simple. I think the Army and the Navy both need to institute that. The Air Force, the Air Force is a corporation at this point. Yeah. Not trying to come down on you, David, or anything like that, but the Air Force is a corporation. That's what it is. I mean, the Air Force does its thing and they turn out decent airmen for the most part. But as far as your primarily combat-oriented branches of service, and I'm talking ground forces, the recruiters need to step up and they need to in addition to making sure that all of the paperwork is squared away, recruiters need to spend less time worrying about how they're going to be able to afford the financing on a new set of rims for their SUV that they don't really fucking need because they've got access to a G-Jet, or worrying about how they can stick their cock in their applicant's girlfriend after they ship off for basic training. How about making sure that you're not sending off complete bags of dicks to basic training?
Exactly.
I mean, if you've got people showing up to doing PT and they're being weighed and they're being taped before they ship, odds are you could probably save, I don't know what the annual budget for this quote unquote fat camp is, but I'm sure it's way too inflated.
Way more than it needs to be.
I mean, when I went through basic training and you failed a weight, you were at reception for an extra 2 weeks. You had 2 weeks to take the weight off.
Yep.
And you were PTing your ass twice a day, every day.
Dog shit out of you.
And you didn't get to finish your in processing to ship down range until you made your weight.
Yep.
So
I think that's what they're actually doing. They're just actually publicizing that.
Well, okay. So at this point, and I hate the term optics, but I mean, you have to think about what this looks like and sounds like. Like, oh, we've got a fat camp. Well, why are you shipping disgusting fat bodies to replacement reception to begin with?
Right.
The recruiters should have their asses handed to them because they're not doing PT with their applicants.
Yeah,
they're not. And
because remember, this is a volunteer force. We're not drafting people and they're showing up against their will, looking like fucking Porky Pig. These are guys that are volunteering to show up and show up looking like that.
Yeah, I mean, you volunteered to be there. You have absolutely zero entitlement to anything.
Right.
We need to get back to the basics of breaking everybody down to their core chemical composition and rebuilding them in the image of their MOS. Pure, plain and simple. You're not there to learn how to be a stealthy killer. You're there to learn how to be a soldier or a Marine or a sailor.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
and that's what advanced individual training is for. You got your AIT, you got your tech school or whatever it is for the Marine Corps equivalent. But I mean, even there, they teach you the basics of what your MOS is. and your particulars and your SOPs need to be refined at the unit level. But
Yep.
it really just our military now unequivocally, let me state that our military will always have our 100% of our support as far as the grunts, the lower enlisted, E4 Mafia for life.
Absolutely.
But this systemically, our military is broken as a whole, and it's from the top down. Leadership worrying about the wrong things.
Yes.
And they're going about fixing those issues the wrong way. A friend of the show, Zach Medford, said one time to me, because at one point I was actually contemplating trying to re-enlist, go back to active duty. And he was like, hell yeah. He said, the Army needs a little bit of that old school, and my oldest son, he would say the same thing. I mean, he had a shit bag for a section leader when he was in. Guy was an E5, E6. He came over from the 82nd, thought he was God's gift to the infantry. And it's like, dude, if you were God's gift to the infantry, what the fuck are you doing at the 4th ID? Right. And this guy just made it untenable to even think about retention. It's like my son wanted to go to the 101st. He wanted to be a second generation no slack soldier. And they just made it to where, it was damn near impossible to re-up unless even down to the retention NCOs at the battalion level, they're more worried about keeping people in the unit than they are keeping people in the Army. It's like, oh, you don't want to stay here? Well, then I can't offer you what you want. Well, if you are not going to offer me what I want, then I'm just not going to sign, which are soldiers and Marines and sailors and airmen. They've got every right to do that. I mean, when I went down to MEPS, when I initially enlisted, I wanted airborne infantry. I wanted that on my contract. And I was told by my recruiter that I could get that, not ask for it at basic training, like, oh no, airborne slots open up all the time. Yeah, they might, but you still have to fill out a 4187 to do so. And they don't tell you that. Yeah. So get it in your contract and then, I don't know, pass basic training in AIT so you don't become needs of the Army. But when I showed up at the MEP station, I had some E7 sitting there at the career counselor desk, told him what I wanted. And he had a couple of keys on his keyboard and he's like, yeah, I don't have it, but I can put you in fire control. And I was like, well, what is that? And he goes, well, you'd be playing with computers. And I was like, well, where is it at? And he goes, well, it'd be at Fort Sill. And I'm like, no, I don't want to go to Fort Sill.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, what did you want? I said, I told you I want airborne infantry. He goes, well, I don't have it. And I got up and I said, well, I'm not signing anything today. And I mean, I enlisted at 16. So I'm walking past my recruiter and he's like, where the fuck are you going? I was like, he said he didn't have airborne infantry. He's like, come with me. So we went back over to that career counselor's desk. He pulled that fat boy out from behind his desk because his chair was on rollers and pushed him aside, hit a couple of keys, and he goes, airborne infantry. Is a ship date of 25 July okay with you? And I was like, yeah. So he hit the print button, dot matrix printers, and it reeled out the contract. And he goes, all right, sign here. Signed it. Of course, this E7 sitting there bitching and moaning. He's like, you can't do that. He goes, well, yeah, I can. And I just did. And he goes, well, I've got numbers to fill. And he goes, well, it ain't about you, Sarn.
I got numbers to fill.
He's like, I got a quota. I'm like, nobody cares.
Yep.
We all got quotas. It's all about putting the people in boots.
Yeah.
And, so, I mean, everybody is so today. Everybody is so looking out for number one, it's, especially with, your combat MOSs, you got your MPs, you got your combat engineers, you got your CAV, you got your infantry. Everybody's worried about what they look like on their NCO ERs and their OERs. And nobody is really taking the time to look at it from the big picture. It's like, okay, we've got enough combat vets with multiple tours under their belt, still enlisted, and still trying to, perpetuate a positive culture as far as retention and training is concerned, that it's we're actually moving back towards the possibility of keeping good high quality soldiers in uniform, and the ones that choose to leave, they're going out into the world with a good head on their shoulders. But towards the end of towards the end of Iraq, and even towards the end of Afghanistan, you started seeing officers and NCOs putting themselves into position to get certain accolades. I mean, you saw it during the end of World War II. You saw it at the end of Korea, saw it toward the end of Vietnam. Officers would rotate themselves out to the line to get that combat experience because it looked good for promotion.
Yep.
Or they how they had to change the standard for the CIB, because during Desert Storm, you'd get people that would fly to Iraq or to Kuwait or to Saudi Arabia from Washington, step off the plane, hang out for 30 minutes, get back on the plane, fly home, and have orders cut for a CIB because they were in a combat zone.
Right.
Well, they changed it to where you got to be consistently or what is it, continuously engaged for 30 days. I think it is now.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So we need to get away from I'm looking out for me. I was never a guy.
You're gonna
I
actually
was never a guy that loved the fruit salad, right? Just the rack of ribbons. It's like, dude, just do your fucking job.
you're always gonna have that one person, that one. It's not like officer. It's not. It's all around. You got that one person. I had a person that was the same rank as me, and I did 100 times more stuff than he did, and he kept on getting more praise and get booted up until like someone came. It took one of the sergeants that actually wanted to make sure that all of his troops were doing good, and he like made a packet for me to get senior airman below the zone, and I ended up being sergeant my first time, only because he looked after me and he saw what I was actually doing.
Well, you're changing your mentality from you're making me look bad to what do I need to do to make you successful so you don't make me look bad. It's what am I doing to train the standard?
Yeah, one of the greatest gifts that I was given during my time in the Army, guy named Shane Bothwell. He was in my platoon, one of the best soldiers. He wasn't even an American citizen. He's actually a British national. Well, it was at the time, but serving in the U.S. Army, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he was from the Cayman Islands. But he said, you should follow the 3 M's: men, mission, myself, in that order. You take care of your men, they're going to take care of the mission. And once the mission is accomplished, then you can worry about yourself. And one of the best examples of that is in the infantry, you're always walking somewhere, right? And they say the best thing that you can do is take care of your feet, and that makes sure that you got clean, dry socks. And if for whatever reason you got either a soldier that dropped his socks, because if you're doing your job as a leader and you're making sure that guys are doing layouts before you go through the wire, that they're going to have stuff, right? So either they lose a pair of socks between that time and the time that they need them, or they just drop them because I don't want to carry the extra weight. If their feet are tore up, hey, you will take that one on the nose, and you will give that soldier your last pair of clean, dry socks to make sure that they are able to carry that machine gun without sucking hind into it. And you can figure it out.
Yep.
Just baby powder and a fucking towel.
Yep.
Just dry your feet off, put powder in your boots, and strap them back up, and you're ready to go. But that was probably single-handedly one of the best gifts that I ever got during my time in the Army was the 3 M's. And, it's one of those things. And it came up this past spring during my safety class that I'm going through in school. And they started talking about people taking charge in, like an emergent situation. And I was like, well, people naturally look for somebody to tell them what to do. It's not that, that we're a race of lemmings or anything like that, but people generally tend to run around like chickens with their heads cut off. So, what did they teach us in the military? Crisis assessment, right? You take a deep breath, you slow everything down, and you triage everything in order, right? And then you give people a direction. You give them a set of parameters to operate within. Like, okay, you go call 911, and then you come right back, or you go get some towels, but you come right back. You give them a task, condition, and standard from beginning to end, so that way they don't have any room to improv on their own. And then you can get through basically anything from a low intensity conflict to a high intensity conflict, because Chris, just as well as I do that those types of situations can be very fluid and dynamic. So, I find that the more that we see these videos come, even drill sergeants are getting in on the whole TikTok craze during basic training. And it's like, why? You should not be a TikTok personality while you are in uniform at all, period. Now we've got the Sergeant Major of TikTok, that, he's out there talking about enhance to the core, better together, that kind of a thing. And I get, I fully support that, because he's out there espousing positive reinforcement to leadership, right? And people aspiring to be leadership. But you get these drill sergeants that are on an entry level with these individuals that are basically cosplaying right now as soldiers.
Let's use what
That's
Chris
a good way of
said.
saying it. Cosplaying. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Or we could say what Chris said earlier. The
soldiers.
Yeah.
No. We are not making that a thing.
We are making that a thing.
Damn it.
Chris fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, getting back to the whole Army fat camp thing, it's like, okay, every dollar should matter as far as your budget goes. And we all know that bullets ain't cheap. You want to offer all the latest and greatest and EO, PowerPoint presentations, and making sure that, everybody's. Look, here's the thing. Everybody wants to use pronouns. There is no such thing as individuality in the military, period.
That's, as much as I hate the slogan, that's where the reasoning behind the Army of One came from.
Yeah.
We are one.
And I'm so glad that they went back to be all you can be.
Yes.
Yes.
I would have just loved to have seen a remake of that recruiting ad where, you got the infantrymen that are sitting out there on the hill during a forced march, and this private is just sitting there smoking and joking with his sergeant, who's just chilling back, drinking a cup of coffee, and they're talking to each other by first names. I'm sitting there going, no. I mean,
filled with hate the whole time.
Oh yeah. I mean,
you can't keep.
If it were us, private sitting there going, "Hey John," or "Hey Chris,"
what the fuck you just call me? I know you ain't fucking talking to me.
Really? I mean,
better lock it the fuck up, private.
Like that knife hand comes out so strong that you hear a freaking bald eagle screaming as it comes down.
Yeah, I mean, and as soon as it makes contact, as soon as that warhead hits forehead, you hear white noise.
Yeah.
Like that TikTok, you just the blinding flash of light.
Yes. I mean, I want a brick those white market nods.
All right, we got one last thing before we head on out for this episode. BLM is going bankrupt. Surprise, surprise.
Oh, so she's gonna have to sell those houses that she bought with people's money?
Oh, it might be that, or it might be the brother that she has as a security consultant for $876,000. Yeah.
You know, you've got to be a special kind of something.
I mean, if you're going bankrupt off of close to $1 billion.
Yeah, but you have to be a special kind of something. I don't know if it's evil or stupid, but you basically inflame an entire demographic to the point where they're willing to contribute money to get what they think is the message out. And all you're doing is buying houses, employing family members for 6 figures a year. I mean, and you know nobody's going to want to prosecute this, but that has got to be the biggest case of fraud and racketeering.
It's literally textbook
in my entire life.
It's textbook racketeering.
Exactly.
They're building cases against them now, though.
Okay.
Whether
hopefully somebody in the DOJ.
I was gonna say if they it's up to
the testicular fortitude to see this through.
Yeah.
Like I said, they need to find the right jurisdiction in order to file it.
True.
That's what it's going to come down to.
Right.
This is
it ain't going to be in New York or LA.
But
I mean, they would. I mean, wouldn't they have to be like a cis prosecutor?
God damn it! Got it. You're just gonna keep that up. This is gonna be awesome.
We need it. We're taking it back. We're taking away the power of the word. Isn't
if you can make this catch on like wildfire, dude. I mean, it's going to get to the point where the alphabet group's going to be like, it's not even fun anymore.
You're using it wrong.
You take my ball and go home.
Your cis ball.
Yeah. Well, before you take your cis ball home, you're going to have to untuck it first.
Oh, fuck.
That's going to be the one thing that gets us canceled.
Oh, yeah. God. Worth it. Absolutely worth it.
All right, everybody. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening. I'm David Dickerman.
I'm Johnny Skelton.
And I am Chris Jacka.
Thanks, everybody. Check y'all later.
Later.